It is game day for the Calgary Stampeders, the Stamps and the Toronto Argonauts here tonight at McMahon Stadium. I'm joined by our outstanding color commentator, Greg Peterson, a former Stampeder. And Greg, some people suggest this is a trap game for the Calgary Stampeders. They're 2-2. I know the Argos haven't won yet this season. How do you see this game?
Well, I don't think it's a trap game. What does a trap game mean anyways?
Exactly.
No, it's an important game for both teams. Obviously, the Argos want to get a win, and if you don't get a win, the pressure just continues to mount and becomes huge. With Calgary, it's a strategy game. They're going to have to, to stay in the hunt for that first place spot. But it's not imperative that they win this game. So trap game, no. Important game, yes.
Yeah, and you want to establish home dominance. That's something that this team has done for a long, long time. Right now, you're 1-1 at home. If you lose this game tonight, all of a sudden you're below 500 at home, and that's not a good trend.
No, it's not. And, the Stampeders have been the standard, especially for home games in the CFL the last 10 years, really. So they want to keep that reputation because it does kind of affect the psyche of the opposing team coming into McMahon Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Last week, a little uncharacteristic of the Calgary Stampeders because you had a guy like Eric Rogers who all he does is catch the ball and catch the ball for touchdowns. He was targeted 11 times and he only caught 5 balls. Rene Paredes misses his 2 field goal opportunities. He is usually Mr. Automatic when it comes to that. And defensively, they were good for the first 3 quarters, and then they couldn't stop the run in the 4th quarter. What are you expecting, tonight from those key areas?
Well, I think Rogers will not do what he did, and that's drop 4 balls. Very uncharacteristic. And not just Eric, but a lot of the other receivers. They just had a hard time. The wind was very strong in that stadium, and it's difficult to catch the ball when it kind of wavers a little bit. The wide receivers like to catch that spiraling point and see it and look it into their hands, and if it goes 1 inch to the side because of the wind, it sometimes is difficult to catch. But I don't expect that tonight. Let's hope it was a one-off game. But to me, that was the major difference in the game last week. Not so much the Paredes miss, but the when you drop balls like you did, especially with a young quarterback, it stops drives and it gives other team momentum, and they just can't have that.
The Stamps do get a little bit healthier for this game because Brandon Smith is back. Juwan Brescison is back. Herge Mayala is back, although there is a change on the offensive line. We got a little bit of a shocker this week when Eucombre Williams ends up on the 1-game injured list. So Justin Lawrence gets the start at center.
Yeah, and that was one position that I'm a little bit worried about. Nothing against Justin, but the center is a key position. It's a position that you need a lot of experience. You get up to the line, it's up to you to call the checks, and you're really the quarterback of the offensive line from the time you break the huddle until the ball is snapped. And there's a lot of changing of blocking schemes that goes on. It could change 2 times, maybe sometimes even 3 times. And if you've got an inexperienced center, that's kind of difficult. And so I'm really looking that could be a key to the game.
Well, we'll see, and we'll hear those keys to the game tonight with Greg Peterson on our pregame show. Our pregame show is on the air at 5:30 this afternoon. Of course, the kickoff, the Stamps and the Argos, at 7 o'clock tonight with Mark Stephen and Greg Peterson.